I would say the first 1.5, 2 years, I didn't reach any profit at all. And it was just, learning and learning and losing a little bit of money. And then after everything clicked, it went quite fast, actually.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another trader interview here at Skilled Funded Traders. Today I have with me Edgar Salvador from the Netherlands, who has managed to withdraw $1,200 here at SFT, and today we have him with us to explain his journey and how he became profitable. So Edgar, hello, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you too. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So the first question is an obvious one. What is it that actually led you into the route of becoming a Forex trader?
Well, I think I started about 3 years ago, and I started in the crypto markets, and I quickly discovered that it wasn't as great as I thought it would be, and I switched over to Forex due to recommendations of people that I knew, and I've been learning ever since. And well, since this year, it's been going better than ever. So that's why.
And what was it that actually got you into crypto in the first place? Like, have you always been that kind of entrepreneurial character?
No, not really. It was a kind of sense that I wanted to earn some extra side money, and just wanted to earn some extra side money turned into a full-time job, actually, over time.
No, okay. And so your transition from crypto into Forex, like you said, you didn't really enjoy the crypto market. How was it when you moved over into the Forex market?
Well, way different. Also, due to the change of style of trading, I started out with just normal retail concepts. Then I switched over to a beat the market maker concept, which then turned into ICT concepts, which, in my opinion, works a bit better or clearer on the Forex and indice markets. So that's why I changed.
Okay. And as you moved into kind of Forex, like you said, this is kind of a 3-year journey. Did you kind of get to grips with it straight away, or was there quite a steep learning curve?
In the beginning, there was a quite steep learning curve, but eventually it kind of grew on me, and I noticed that I picked up most of the things fairly quickly. I also have a mentor who's coaching me one-on-one, so that also helps, of course.
Okay. And to your mentor, is this just a mentor in technical analysis, or did they kind of help you with the psychology and the fundamentals?
Well, yeah, he's a former charter member of ICT, so he kind of helps me in all different aspects because he has a lot more experience than me. So it's good to have someone on the side that can check up on you.
Yeah, it's very important. I think all new traders need to understand that it's unlikely they're going to be able to go it completely alone. You're going to need support somewhere.
Yeah, for
And so,
sure.
like you said, you realized that you got to grips with everything quite easily. So, how long was your journey from kind of being an unprofitable trader to actually reaching profitability?
I would say the first 1.5, 2 years, I didn't reach any profit at all, and it was just learning and learning and losing a little bit of money. And then after everything clicked, it went quite fast, actually. So it
Right.
took me maybe 2.5 years, maybe.
2.5 years. And I'd
Yeah.
say that is more of a reasonable standard of what people should expect
Oh,
that
for
it would
sure,
actually
for sure.
take them.
Yeah.
So, as you said, you kind of developed into more of an ICT strategy. Could you kind of
Mhm.
walk us through how you kind of look to find your setups?
So all I do actually is trade the market maker models, because I believe it's the most efficient way to trade these concepts. Um, and then I just look for the second level distribution or reaccumulation, and that's it. And I enter on that intraday.
So it's quite a simple strategy. You just have your set of rules, you follow them, and you go
Yeah,
through that.
yeah, yeah.
And then, do you have a kind of strategy attached to that to manage risk? Like, what is your approach to risk management?
Well, I manage my risk dynamically. So not only on the terms of what do I risk per trade, but also per account. How am I using the accounts? What account is used what for? For example, I might use one account just for generating income and just hitting a 2% profit and just withdrawing it, while other accounts are able to go higher, you know. So I at least guarantee a set of income, and then I base my trading risk management on building a buffer first, and then going and increasing my risk slowly on.
Right. So your risk management kind of changes based on what phase of a challenge you're in when you get funded, and then you kind
Yeah.
of look for that definitive payout rather than looking for kind of big withdrawals.
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly.
so at the moment, then I imagine, are you kind of more focused on building your actual kind of amount of capital that you've got behind you?
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. I'm not so focused on raking up 10% a month, but I rather focus on maybe aiming for 3 or 4, and keeping a better mental state at the same time, you know?
Yeah, and it is obviously very, very important to kind of keep a level head as a trader. Everyone knows this now. Do you think there are any particular parts of your life where you developed this psychology before you even came into trading?
No, I don't think so. Most of it was actually learned during trading and just building up experience, because it's a very different field than most other fields. So I don't think it's comparable to other fields in most senses.
Mm. Yeah, and I think it
Maybe
is.
sports, the discipline, but for the rest, the kind of mental stress that especially new traders will undergo during trading is very different than other things.
Yeah, and I do think that you just touched on something there, that the only other industry that sort of compares is sports. It's kind of this, it's the you against you kind of
Yeah, exactly,
journey that you
exactly.
go through. And some of the lessons that you would have went through then. So I mean, like you said, it's a 2.5 year journey, and you struggled for the first part of it, and then you become profitable. What are some of the biggest lessons that you kind of learn about yourself and about your trading throughout the time where you was not profitable?
I'd say take it slow. Don't rush into buying all sort of big accounts that maybe your mental state can't handle. For example, a new trader may be well equipped to handle a $100 loss, but if he sees the same exact loss on the same setup, but then a -1,000, it might hit him way harder than it should have, you know. So take it slow and just build up experience and focus on the skill and not the money.
Yeah, always 100% focus on the processes. The money is just a byproduct of the
Yeah,
processes and the skills.
exactly, exactly.
And for you, is this something that you had to learn the hard way, or did you just kind of come in knowing this?
Well, in the beginning, I was very risk averse, so I didn't take much risk. So I luckily didn't lose lot of money when starting out. I do know there's a lot of people that do lose a lot of money when starting out, so I say be careful with that. But then eventually, of course, everyone will experience emotions during trading, and will have bad days. That's inevitable. It's just a part of the process, and you learn from it.
Mm. And can you think of any experiences, like you said, everyone's going to go through those learning curves and they're going to go through loss. Did you have any particular experiences where it was so bad that you was like, maybe I'm not actually cut out for this?
Um, Not necessarily that bad that I would think like that, because I've always had the sense of there's no plan B. I just go for it, and yeah, just burn the bridges, and there's no looking back. But there were instances, of course, that I just took too much risk or revenge trading, and then the hours after it, you're just looking back at it, and it's not nice. And then if you remember that feeling every time you're going to trade, you will probably prevent yourself from doing it again.
100%. And the way that you've learnt your lessons, was it kind of just on self-reflection, or do you have any techniques to kind of look back on it through meditation, journaling, things like that?
Yeah, of course, journaling is very important. So I journal all my trades, and also note down the emotions that I experienced before, during, and after, just to get a sense of in what stage what do I feel. So when another time comes when a setup is presenting itself, I know what to expect in terms of emotions. And if you know what to expect, you can also better act on it, because it's just a phase in uh, in trading. It's just a phase, and this emotion will probably happen next, and this one will happen next. And over time, because you know what's going to happen, you're going to be able to manage it way better.
Yeah, 100%. And it's again, it's down to this thing of experience. You're going to keep going through the same things until they click. And
Yeah.
I mean, what is the biggest advice that you would give to some of the more experienced traders? Because, like you said, for newer traders, there's some obvious things they'll have to know and understand. But for experienced traders that still seem to be failing, like, do you have any advice? Have you seen this from other traders around you?
I'd say keep your risk very low, just to preserve your mental capital, because you're gonna need it, and in order to not lose a lot of money. So I'd say keep your risk low, especially if you're already trading for a long time and you're not profitable. Uh, just take it slow and don't try to rush it, because if you're gonna chase the money, it's not gonna come.
100%. And I mean, in terms of the prop industry, when you first got into trading, was the prop industry the first thing that you stepped into, or did you have some experience kind of trading with your own
Uh,
capital as well?
yeah, when I first started off, I didn't even know of prop firms 3 years ago. So I just started out with my own capital. And then when I transitioned to Forex, that's the first time I actually heard about it. And yeah, that's why I started with it, of course, because it's an easier way to get on a higher level than initially possible. Because if you really want to earn some money while trading, you need to have some more capital, of course. And for a lot of
100%.
people, it's probably not doable to get it from the start, from the get-go.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will probably struggle unless they've had other businesses before and have been able to save large amounts of capital. Prop
Yeah,
firms,
exactly.
in my opinion, are one of the most important things that have happened in the industry. But there has also obviously been a lot of controversy over the last few years with certain prop firms that we won't name. And even today, we still have traders complaining about the state of the prop industry. How do you personally feel like we're moving along as an industry?
Well, I'd say just be careful with the prop firms you choose. Personally, I haven't had any problems with prop firms yet, no payout denials or bad things or anything. So I guess maybe I chose the right ones, or I'm just lucky. I don't know. Um, yeah, I'd say in time, of course, prop firms will probably progress, and the best ones will probably be the ones that survive, the ones that go along with time and try to progress with the industry, and the ones that are going to be, yeah, lacking behind, they will not survive.
And in your opinion, is there any kind of specifics that you find need to be removed or added into the industry to kind of make it more friendly to its users?
Mm, that's a good one. I'd say, well, the current models, how they work, they're fine for me and my trading style. So I don't know. Maybe for some other people that have different trading styles, it might be different. I see a lot of people, they want to have extra added drawdown or something like that, but for me, I don't ever get near a couple of percent of drawdown, so it doesn't really matter for me. So in that case, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and I think that's it's a topic that I've spoken about with quite a lot of traders recently, and it seems to be that everyone that comes on and actually is profitable doesn't seem to have much of an issue with the way the industry is run. It seems to be the traders that keep failing that have the
Yeah,
biggest problems. And
yeah,
I mean, we all know the statistics at the moment. I mean, around less than 10% of traders are going to pass. Um, this is kind of the industry standard across the board. Do you have
yeah.
any thoughts on why you believe that is?
Just human interference. A lot of people that maybe trading, they might have a good strategy which is profitable in terms of the mechanics of the strategy, but they will interfere with the strategy and just make mistakes. And in that case, it's not the prop firm's fault, or the prop challenges are hard. It's just you have to, take it really serious and manage your risk. Just like you're running a company, you should trade your trading like a business and do reviews and, you know, take it really serious. Otherwise, you're never gonna pass it.
Yeah,
So
and I do think you see more and more traders coming into the industry without any understanding of how difficult it actually is. Everyone's kind of seen the marketing gurus explaining that it's
yeah.
quite easy to get here, and it just isn't. And with that in mind, what qualities, like if you had to pick 3 or 4 qualities that you think all traders need to come into this industry with, like what do you think you need to develop before you even get here?
Patience and persistence. I think those two are really important. And the ability to keep a clear mind is also very important, I
Mm.
think.
Yeah, I think again, a lot of this will always come back to all of the aspects of trading psychology. I mean, is
Yeah.
there any kind of educational resources that have helped you, either books, specific mentors, specific kind of videos and things that have helped you build the right trading psychology?
I think I've read Trading in a Zone and a few articles online, which I can't remember, about the dopamine system. How that works is also really important to just get the science behind why something does something in your brain. I think understanding that also has helped me a great part,
Yeah,
diving into the really specific details.
yeah, and I think it's clear to me that many of the traders that I've interviewed that are successful, they go into more intricate detail, like you said, like actually learning about the dopamine system and how that's going to play a role is something that you can probably look at and say most other people around you have not done that. um,
Probably, yeah.
yeah, and it's interesting to see there are clearly some extra things that successful traders are doing that unsuccessful traders are not
Yeah.
doing. um, just give me 2 secs. I had a question in my head that I really wanted to ask. This bit will get cut out. I had a complete brain. The whole time you was answering that question, I could just feel it in
One
my head.
specific question, then the time arrives. And,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It happened a couple of times while I've been trying to kind of get through some of the other questions.
That's
Um,
okay. That's why we have editors, right?
yeah, that is why we have editors. Yeah, it's really difficult. Right, we're going to move away from that for a sec. In terms of fundamentals, now, in my experience, the majority of retail traders that I have come across do not put any value in fundamentals. And even some of the more successful traders that I've seen, they believe that it's not an important role. What is your relationship with fundamental analysis in trading?
Well, I actually believe that fundamental analysis is very important. It's the biggest driver behind the market on a macro scale. Whether you believe in ICT concepts and that the market runs on an algorithm, um, I think so, but still there is fundamental reasons behind why that algorithm does certain things. It also has to do with positioning for bigger parties in the market, and there's a lot of fundamental drivers behind that. So I think neglecting fundamental reasons 100%, it's not a good idea, especially not for me. So I take in account fundamentals. Yeah.
Awesome. And is this something that you kind of have as part of your trading plan? Is it a kind of every time you step into the charts, do you have a place where you look to find your fundamental education?
Yeah, I just use Bloomberg and stuff for major stuff, and then of course the economic calendar, and then I just have a separate chart with all the technical fundamental stuff that I need, such as the COT reports and stuff and interest rates. I keep a big Excel sheets of all the interest rates changes, so just I can see where it's going and where it's headed. You know.
Yeah, again, and it's this is I can't stress it enough. Talking to you makes me understand how many different aspects that you actually look deeply into. None of it is just brushed over. You
Oh.
clearly have a solid idea and plan of what you're doing. And obviously now this is your full-time kind of career now, trading, yes? So
Yeah.
but for me, when I first started trading more full time, I found it almost impossible to manage my time. I went from working 40 hours a week to only needing to work a few hours a day. And I personally found it quite difficult to cope with. Did you find
Mhm.
that transition hard? And I mean, what does a day look like for you now?
Well, I do still have another job at a bank. So I'm an investment specialist at another bank. So I just have that job on the side as well. So I work there 2 days a week, and then the rest is spent on the charts. And normally I just wake up really early, around 6 o'clock, and then I'm at the charts around 7, just to have a long, slow morning on the charts, which is fine for me. And then Halfway through the day, I take a walk and I walk the dog just to get outside and get some vitamin D. And then at the end of the day, I probably head to the gym, something like that.
So it's the gap in between. So you kind of stop trading around midday, and then
Yeah.
everything after that is your free time. Do you ever get the temptation, because a lot of traders do, to carry on trading after in the gaps in between, or like do you have hobbies and stuff that you keep yourself occupied with?
Well, it actually depends because sometimes I do trade the New York session. It just depends on what London does. If I walk away with a win in London, I'll quit for the day. I'm done. If there hasn't really happened anything during London or I take a loss, I'll go in with half risk during New York and we'll just see what happens. And some days I just know before I'm not going to trade because of the economic calendar or whatever trading conditions and stuff. I'll just know I'm not going to trade and I'll probably stay in studying or something.
Yeah, so everything again is very regimented, and you've already made the decisions. It's
Yeah,
not something that you have to question with yourself.
no,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah, and like I said, throughout this entire interview, it's been very clear to me that one of the biggest differences between yourself and some of the other traders that I personally see is how serious you take it. It's not even like, it doesn't even look like it's that kind of fun. The excitement has gone for you. It's, this is a job, this is what I do, and this
Mhm.
is how I make a living. And
Yeah.
it's been very interesting for me to see. Just while we've been having this conversation, is there kind of any other things that have popped up in your mind that you think are important for people to hear and kind of understand as we look to close things out?
Yeah, especially for new traders, don't underestimate it. Yeah, trading might be simple in some cases, but it's not easy. There's a big difference between it. So yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway I could give to probably new people as well.
Yeah, and again, I 100% agree. I think way too many people have made it seem like this is easy, and it just isn't. It's hands down one of the hardest things that I've ever walked into personally.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah, if there's nothing else that you can think of that has kind of brought you to here in this journey, then obviously we'll look to close up. But I do very much appreciate you coming on. Again, it's been a big eye opener for me. I personally really enjoy these interviews. It
Yeah,
teaches me a lot.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah, obviously at the moment we're at 1200 with SFT. Is this something kind of, do you have a lot of other accounts across other firms?
Yeah, I spread my accounts through firms. Yeah, just another risk management thing, you know,
Mm,
instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, just spreading it out because you know there's been a big downfall of a bigger prop firm in the industry. Um, yeah, and there's a lot of people that have put all their accounts at one firm, and then something like that happens, and yeah, well,
yeah, it's
you know,
just,
we all know what happened. So yeah,
yeah,
so
it's just
I'd say,
making those decisions
yeah.
that protect yourself. And so at the moment, if you're okay with kind of expressing this, how much do you have in funding in total?
Um, I'm not sure how much exactly. I'm still busy with a lot of challenges as well, which I run through a copy trader or trade copying program. But unfortunately, they have been experiencing some issues why because of MT5 connectors or something. So I'm stuck trading one account at the moment until they fix that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so with us, this $1,200 payout, what sort of account
Mhm.
size was that on?
That was just 2,500, 25K account.
On
Yeah.
25K.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, like you said, you just look for making that few percent, getting out, and just calling it
Yeah.
a day. Well, I mean, like I said, to me, it seems like you've kind of got things figured out. You've done it in quite a timely manner, to be honest. 2.5, 3 years is good going to kind
Yeah.
of make it to profitability and trading.
For sure. If you're studying to be a doctor, you also take well, here in the Netherlands it's probably 6 to 8 years. So
Yeah,
it's no different.
yeah, and people need to respect that. There's loads of people that realize, oh, this could take me 5 years, and they're unwilling to do it, but they will
Yeah.
be willing to grind out many other traditional things for
Yeah.
the same amount of time. But yeah, so like I said, I think that you're in a perfect position to kind of smash out 2024, and I do wish you the best of luck in kind of increasing your funding, getting through these challenges.
For sure.
Hopefully, the MT5 connectivity issue sorts itself out so you can get back to business.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very, very much for being here with me today.
Yes, thank
And
you
yeah,
too.
I wish
I
you the
really
best of
enjoyed
luck for
it.
24.
Thank you, man.
Awesome.